Hello, Ghoul Fiends, and welcome to another episode of THG After Dark, the show where we dive into all things weird, spooky, and sometimes just plain terrible, from haunted cities to awful movies, and even a few new releases. We've got you covered. I'm T.
I'm Megan.
And tonight, we're hopping a flight to the tropical and very off-limits paradise of Isle Saint Hubar. It's got lush jungles, sparkling blue waters, and, oh yeah, genetic mutations. What could possibly go wrong? That's right. Tonight, we're talking about Jurassic World Rebirth.
Jazz
Yay.
hands. Okay.
So, just like any new movie, few housekeeping rules here. One, we will not spoil this movie for you because it just came out on July 2nd, and today, when we are recording this, it is later in the month. So,
Just
so don't worry about what exact day, just know it's a little later in the month.
a little later.
You will be seeing this within the month that this movie has come out. So, that being the first thing, we will not spoil this for you. So please don't fret. You can look at this whole thingy, this whole video
That was a
without,
great pause because you just said you can look at this hole and then you just stopped. That's why we call these after darks.
right? You can look at this whole. So listen, we're not even like 5 minutes in, and already the shenanigans and hijinks have started.
You know
But
what
yeah,
they
no.
say, if you let them shenan once, they will shenan again.
Again.
That was such an old timer joke. Anyway, so
Lord.
sorry.
So yes, we will not spoil anything for you, but per usual, we are going to go through some of these trailers. Now, I will be going through the trailers today, and of course, if you've seen this, Megan, please, or if you've seen it or not, whatever you have thoughts, please share them. We did go see this movie one day apart, so
One day
yeah.
apart. Yeah.
All right, so let me get on to the trailers. The first trailer I saw was Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
I will say just in this moment, I don't think I saw this trailer. I'm fairly certain that I did not. Because I actually did like the original of this movie, and I feel like I would have been intrigued to see this trailer.
Yeah,
And it doesn't look familiar to me. So there we go.
I was very happy to see this for sure because I loved the first movie and I thought it was really, really good. All I see here for this is a diamond heist reunites retired horseman illusionists with new performers Greenblatt, Smith, and Sessa as they target dangerous criminals. And I mean, it's an all-star cast. You have Dave Franco, Lizzie Kaplan, Isla Fisher, Morgan Freeman, the GOAT, Ariana Greenblatt, Jesse Eisenberg, Daniel Radcliffe, Mark Ruffalo,
Oh my God.
Woody Harrelson. So, I
This is a
mean,
great cast. Holy
yes, star-studded cast.
shit.
The first one that I saw, there's a Now You See Me, and I think there's a Now You See Me too, and this is actually the
Mm-hmm.
third one. So I do believe I saw the second one too.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a while since I've seen it. The first one came out in 2013, so it's been a minute. And
Yeah.
I honestly thought that this trailer was really, really good. And probably because I'm biased, because I got excited as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh my God, I know this. Um, and so honestly, I would see this. It is a crime thriller. I don't know if I would see it in the movies at this point, but I would
Mm,
certainly watch it. Like, and it's a
sure.
movie where I would actually like get food and sit down and watch it. I'm not going to like pick toe jam or, scratch my
Oh,
scalp or anything. I'm going to actually sit down and have a good time with it.
well, thank you for being so specific about your
Right?
activities while you watch it. Yeah.
Right? Right?
Well, that's how we know that it's your love is for real. You know, that's how we
True.
get, yeah, so we got it.
The next movie preview that I saw was for Superman. And it says when Superman gets drawn into conflicts at home and abroad, his actions are questioned, giving tech billionaire Lex Luthor the opportunity to get the Man of Steel out of the way for good. Will intrepid reporter Lois Lane and Superman's four-legged companion Krypto be able to save him before it's too late? We'll find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. So I didn't even know this was coming out, to be quite honest. Had
Mm.
no clue. It has already come out because what day did it come out? It came out July 11th. It is 2 hours and 9 minutes. That's a long
Oh,
movie for Superman. But
sure.
it looked good. I mean, every iteration of Superman, they always pick the same looking kind of guy. I
They
honestly,
do.
this guy is David Cornsweet. I think that's how you say his name.
Corn sweat?
Corn Sweat
Great.
or Corn Sweet. I don't know. But
Delicious.
but he is playing Superman. He is the new Superman. And I mean, he looks okay. He fits the role. He has the chiseled jawline and everything like that. The
He
movie looked
does.
interesting. The Lex Luthor throws me off though, because I'm used to seeing Lex Luthor a little bit heavier. This Lex Luthor is very thin. And that he
He
might have looked like
is.
that in the comic books. I'm not sure. But this one is extremely thin.
So I didn't see this trailer, but this is what I'm going to say because I just looked up the cast.
As
Nicholas Holt
hmm
has been delivering consistently. So he might not look like your typical Lex Luthor, but, and like I said, I didn't see the trailer. Knowing that so far he has not been missing, I would be interested to see what he's doing with that part.
Yeah, the acting in it, as far as his acting in the trailer, was Lex Luthor. It was just his look that threw me off
Sure.
because obviously he's bald. So you can see a picture of Nicholas Holt. He's not bald. He has a
That's
full head of
weird.
hair.
Wait, I
So
need to
that's what I'm
see.
saying. So that's what I'm saying. When you see him, he looks different.
Let me take a look. Let's take a little look-see. Oh,
Yeah.
that's different. Okay.
So yeah, it just threw me off a little bit seeing that. I was like, oh,
And I feel like he also looks so like a baby face
yes.
too, which
But
is like another weird.
in this one, they all look a little baby faced to me.
Yeah,
Like Superman looks a little baby faced and
he does.
Supergirl looks baby
Well,
faced.
when you actually line him up, I just was scrolling and I saw a lineup of previous Supermen.
Hmm.
He does look very young next to the others.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Okay.
I said I wanted to see this. I said I would probably see it. I'm
Hmm.
probably going to, if I was going to see it in a movie theater, I would have wanted to see it in IMAX. I most likely missed that because IMAX movies, they're only in there for like a few days and then they leave. When we were looking at Jurassic Park, we had like two showings of IMAX and then it was like nothing else. It was 3D. And I'm like, I don't want to see 3D. So
No.
no.
Okay.
So there's Superman. The next movie is something that's very near and dear to my heart. During the pandemic, I listened to a lot of audiobooks, and one of them was an audiobook called Project Hail Mary. That book was amazing. It's a novel by Andy Weir. I don't read books typically, I listen to them because at this point I've read a lot of technical books for school and I hate to have to read if I have to. I do it for work as well. So I will listen. And it was such a compelling story. So I found out 2 days before I went to the movie theater that this book was being made into a movie. And then I
Hmm.
go and the moment it comes on, despite the fact that I have not seen anything, didn't know who was acting in it or anything, the way it started, I knew exactly what movie it was, and I got so hyped. I was like,
Aw.
"Oh my God, it's Project Hail Mary!" Because it started just like the book starts.
That's a fun surprise. I actually
Yeah.
didn't see this either, so I just want to say really quick, we typically go to different theaters, like different
Yes.
brands of theaters.
Yes.
And my new theater of choice is an AMC, and they have added in that like if you guys have seen, if you're moviegoers, that like extra 25 to 30 minutes of ads. So by the time the ads or the ads and these trailers, there we go, started, I was still getting my popcorn and shit, so I missed a lot, and this isn't familiar to me, but I'd be interested to see the trailer because I see that our boyfriends collective, Ryan Gosling, is in it, and
Yes.
he's pretty awesome.
And
So,
he is playing the main character.
mm,
So he would get a lot of screen time because he spends a lot of time alone. So the
interesting.
overview for this is astronaut Ryling Grace wakes up on a space station with no recollection of who he is or what his mission is. As
Mm,
his memory slowly returns, he soon learns that he was sent to the Tau Ceti solar system to reverse the impact of a space event that has already hurled Earth into the early stages of an ice age. As the details of the mission unravel, he must call on his scientific training and sheer ingenuity, but he may not be alone. He may not have to do it alone. I will say that Andy Weir also wrote The Martian, which is probably his most famous book, and it was also a movie, as you all know, and it had
mm.
that one guy in it, you know. little actor.
You know that
Um,
guy. Hmm.
yeah. And so, though I did not see The Martian, nor did I read it, I really like this. And so I think that this would be a good movie. I mean, a lot of people loved The Martian. They thought it was so good. And so I think it would be good. I would see it.
Okay.
I'm going to see it.
This
It's
seems like you because I pulled it up. It's a sci-fi adventure, and that's very like you coded. So,
yes. So this comes out March 20th, 2026. So I have a little bit of
oh, you
time
got
to
a little
wait.
while.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
okay because I mean it's not like I don't know the story.
Right, right, right.
So it's
That's
not like
exciting
I'm
though.
anticipating. But yeah, so glad to see this. So yeah, I hope that they do well. I think Ryan Gosling will do a good job, honestly. He does a good job in a lot of movies that I've seen him in. I have never seen him in anything that I didn't like him in. I will say that I've never seen The Notebook. I'm not gonna see The Notebook. I
Oh
don't
my
want to see
God.
The Notebook because I am not a romance person.
I
Like
used to be. I feel like I've said this before that like I used to be before the world turned me into a cold-hearted snake. Paula Abdul reference. I don't know where that came
oh,
from.
I heard it
Um,
say.
yeah, I don't know. But I really like that movie. Like it's really well done. He's so good at it, but like, yeah, it makes me feel a feeling. So we'll just
It's
stuff those back down. Boop.
it's unfortunate because when I think of The Notebook, I think of that scene where they're in the rain and they're talking back and forth, but all I hear is the line from Brokeback Mountain. It's I'm trying to quit you or some whatever he says in that movie. And
That's a
so
really funny mashup. Because
yeah,
what they're talking about is she was like, you left and you didn't write. I don't remember the lines. And he's like, I wrote you every day for a year, whatever. And she's like, you did, like, whatever. And then you hear Brokeback Mountain.
it's hard for me to quit you, whatever he
I
says.
can't quit you. Wait, what is the line? Hold on, hold on. We need to know what the line is. I forgot how to spell mountain, everyone. Oh my gosh, what happened? I got so
M-A
frazzled.
M-O-U.
No, I figured it out, but it took me, I had a moment. I think it's just I can't quit you.
I
Oh,
think.
no, no. It's I wish I knew how to quit you.
There we go. I wish I knew how to quit you. That's what I hear
That's
every time I
actually
see that scene.
that's a really romantical, sad line, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I wish I knew how to quit you.
I also have not watched Brokeback Mountain because again, I don't know
Not
if
a romance gal.
I don't know if I want to watch cowboy romance.
If you don't like regular romance, you certainly will not like cowboy romance.
That's not intended to be cowboy romance at that. I know that that movie was probably masterful as well because Heath Ledger. I
It won a
mean,
lot of awards. I
yeah.
definitely saw it once. Romance, not super my genre. Like, listen, I can get down with some Bridget Jones now
Oh
and
yeah,
again.
that's
I love,
rom-com.
yeah, I would go rom-com, but like, that's my secret. Like, I'm just sharing secrets with you guys because, like, when I'm not watching like bloody, gory grossness, I'm like Bridget Jones, like,
I
whatever.
will say the one rom-com that I love, and most people would probably agree, Love Actually.
It
I
makes me
love that.
really sad. I can't, it's hard for me to watch because I want to choke out. You know who I'm gonna say? I can't think of him.
Hugh Grant,
Just
is
add
that
him to the
him?
list. No, but the one who got with the Emma Thompson,
Oh,
who he
oh,
like bought the necklace for the person he was cheating with, and then he gave her a CD, but she already
yeah,
knew about the necklace. It's so
yeah,
heartbreaking. Like it's
yeah.
hard. I don't like movies like that.
But it's like the
So
only one that I actually like remember, and I remember liking it, and it's just like
a lot of people love that movie, but I don't want to. I feel like I'm gonna
it's
overshare.
fine. I
No, but it's
understand.
like no, but it's like if you've been in terrible relationships like that, it kind of hits you in your PTSD where you kind of remember like how it felt to be on the receiving end of those behaviors, and you're just like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't need to secondhand live in that. Like that's not to say it's not a good movie.
right.
And a lot of people like they love to watch it around the holidays and whatever, but I'm just like I
Yeah,
feel like it's too sad. I don't know. Even though
yeah.
it's not there's multiple stories and they're not all sad. But I mean there's a lot like that. There's a lot of the campy ones like I mentioned in a prior episode like The Wedding Planner, He's Just Not That Into You or like, the little
And see, I read that book too before it became a
Oh, me
movie.
too. I still
Yeah.
have it. I still have that book. Yeah. No,
Oh,
there's some good ones.
the only other romance that I watch is Sleepless in Seattle. It's a classic.
Oh.
I'm sure most of the kids don't even know what the hell that is, and
Sleepless in Seattle.
you won't even recognize the actors in that.
What
But
about You Got Mail?
I'm not a Meg Ryan fan like that, so
Oh, 90s Meg Ryan is so good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's all right.
I
But
know,
I
but
didn't. But You Got Mail, I didn't like that.
really, no, I don't know. Maybe I have some feelings left after all. I don't know.
Maybe a little
But
bit,
tiny
just a
bit,
tad.
just a little bit. And
I'd rather
then
see people murder each other. So
same. You don't have to wonder. No one's feeling anything except for terror, and that's what
right,
we like.
the cold steel of a knife.
Yeah,
Duh.
that's better. That's so much better. I think my trauma is showing. It's fine. Let's go. Let's go.
We'll move on. So point being, Project Hail
Point
Mary.
being,
I
Project
definitely
Hail
want to see
Mary.
that. It is a like I said, horror sci-fi, or not horror sci-fi, sci-fi thriller, and so I would definitely love
Every
to
time you
see
say
that.
thriller, my ADD brain wants to sing thriller so bad. Like I have to actively stop myself from hitting the chorus of Thriller every time. Yeah, and doing the dance, which I want to learn the whole thing of and be in a flash mob about.
Can I tell you that I was at my job one day, and we had a party, and this is way back in the day when there were people who worked in offices.
You-
I don't do that
What's
anymore.
that like?
But one of the people at my job in my department taught us all the Thriller dance. Yeah, she taught us
What?
like step by step. She's like, okay, now you do this and you kick out, you put your hands up and you do this, you do that. Yeah, and so by the end of the party, we were like all doing the Thriller dance.
I know a lot of it because I've watched a lot of like flash mob videos. Can I tell you something that irks me, which is a silly thing, but as a prior performer and like a person who is like a purist about recreating things like that, when people are doing a flash mob, and you know the part where they go side to side with their
Yeah.
little claws, right? When they get lazy and they have everyone go in the same direction versus line by line, you're
Right, because
supposed
they're
to
going
go,
opposite. Yep.
right, you're supposed to go in opposite directions. I'm like, that's lazy. It's not hard for people just alternate lines. Like you could teach that quick. But whenever I see a video like that, I'm like, are they going to do it the right way? Or are they going to do it the lazy way? But yeah, it's an
Yes.
iconic dance, you
It
know?
is. It
And it
is.
was one of the best-selling albums of all time, Michael Jackson's Thriller, everyone. Some
Yes.
good songs on there aside from Thriller too, just if you need something to listen to.
I
Little
agree.
little fun facts for you.
I agree.
Little Paul McCartney on there.
All right. Well, I'm going to
After
go
that
on.
enormous sidebar.
Right? I'll go on to the next movie, which is our second to last. This one was Bugonia. It is a comedy sci-fi, and it says two conspiracy-obsessed men kidnap the CEO of a major company when they become convinced that she's an alien who wants to destroy Earth. And the main person in this is Emma Stone. She does play the CEO,
Okay.
and you also have Alicia Silverstone that's in this movie as well.
Oh,
So
it's been a
yeah.
minute since we've seen her.
Yeah. Now, when I saw this preview at first, I was like, what the hell is this? Because it like starts out with people like in the office and stuff like that. But then it gets to the part where they like go to this lady's house and they're like kidnapping her and stuff. And she seems very harsh, like a really hard boss. And so
Right.
it's very interesting to see Emma Stone play that because I mean she does some really interesting roles.
Sure.
She's not typecast to me. You know what I'm saying? Because she can do a lot of different things. But I thought this was interesting. It's definitely not something I want to see in the movies, but I think if it came on like Netflix or Max or something like that much later on, I probably would watch it at some point just to see. I'm
Just
not,
looking at it, I haven't seen the trailer, but just from look, I just looked up the images and stuff. Does not
yeah.
look like something I feel compelled to see. Again, not a trailer I saw at all, so I feel like they showed us completely different trailer packages because I saw a bunch of trailers. This wasn't included. Can I tell you what was included? Absolutely not. No, I can't. But this wasn't because I didn't I didn't see this.
My brain, my brain took a minute to register what you said because I was still waiting. Like me, I was still waiting, but my brain was like, she doesn't have anything.
I got nothing. She got nothing. I can't contribute. No, but
Yeah,
truly, because it's like if they were movies, if I saw any of these, like truly, I'd be like, oh, I definitely saw this trailer. Didn't see a goddamn one of these at all.
yeah. And there were some that I didn't share.
Because
I'll
they sucked.
just
They don't matter.
no, I'll say what they were. I'm not gonna go into them. I saw
Okay.
also the Roses, Tron, The Bad Guys 2, which is a cartoon, so I definitely wasn't gonna talk about that. And I also saw the trailer for Wicked 2, which
Oh, I saw that one.
I wasn't gonna mention that one because it's Wicked, and we've talked about Wicked plenty of times on here.
Have we?
We have.
Am I okay?
I
Like,
mean, not like we talked about it like hardcore, but remember, I called her like Ariana Grande, not Ariana Grande.
Ashley
I
Stewart.
called her Ashley Stewart. Yeah. And so we had talked about it, and you
And you
told me
haven't
about
watched
how
the
they
first
looked.
one.
Right. I haven't
Yes.
watched the first one.
The trailer looked good for that, but that's the only one of every movie you mentioned that I've actually seen. Isn't that
Well,
crazy?
yeah. Well, let's say this. I'm not going to see Begonia, but now we'll talk about Wicked 2 before I go to my last one, since you did see that one. We know what Wicked 2 is about. Listen, I
Do
don't even.
we?
Yeah, we do. It's the end the Wicked. What? Listen, I'm not even going to read whatever it says because I didn't pull it up. But
No, don't.
I'm just going to say this based on what the trailer is, because you know it's going to be unbiased because I don't know the story and I
She
did
didn't
not
watch the
see the
first part
first
yet.
one,
Nope.
so I don't know. So from the trailer, we see that the Green Witch.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear this take. I'm really genuinely very excited. Yes, please continue.
We see that what's her name? I want to call her by the right name. I forget though.
It's
I want to
Elphaba.
thank you because I wanted to call her Ramona.
That's maybe her middle name.
I was thinking about the woman in the yard. Anyway, Alphaba.
Yes.
So Elphaba has like glowed up a bit. She has on new outfit. Her braids are longer and everything like that. And from what it looks like, you know, she obviously is being hunted by the wizard. She's being hunted by the lady that's bad too, the bad witch lady. And it looks like her and Glinda are not cool, but they secretly are cool. And so she goes to visit Glinda at her little palace, and she's still trying to tell her, like, look, we got to be against the Wizard of Oz or whatever. And so it's still a lot of going back and forth. The guy that Elphaba had a crush on in the first
Fiero.
movie, he
Yes.
becomes like the leader of the troops or some shit. So he's going against her now. And so there's that. And then somehow she starts controlling the fucking flying monkeys, and
Yeah.
they're all like rallying around her. And then the one part that I was hype about, because like I love Jeff Goldblum, he's the Oz. But also, I always get hyped when there's a tie-in that I actually understand.
Sure.
They show the part where fucking, well, I was about to call that girl Wendy. Now I'm about to call her Alice. Dorothy, damn it. It's one of those nights.
I love that.
Wendy fit, but I mean, whatever.
I really like Wendy. I'm crying.
Well, Wendy from Peter Pan and Dorothy are wearing the same color dress, I guess. I don't know. So I was hyped when I saw Wendy Dorothy and all the people that her entourage, they all
Yes.
go to see Oz, and he's like, I want you to go get the green goddess or whatever.
Her
And I'm
broom.
yeah. And
Yep.
I was like, oh my God. And so that's what the movie's about.
Right.
It's about Wendy and her entourage going to get the green goddess's broom.
I really like Wendy so much because I do kind of feel like it fits on one
Yeah.
hand, but that's it's like, oh, that's really good.
So yeah,
That really
so
took me by
that's wicked.
surprise. That was actually pretty,
For someone who
pretty
didn't
on
know,
point. Who didn't know, didn't see the first one or anything.
and the only
Um,
reason I knew about the Furio, Fivero, only
Fiero.
reason the only reason I knew about him is
Yeah.
because there was a point in time where I got really obsessed with seeing clips from the first one.
Oh.
And so I saw a clip where they were like entertaining each other and they were singing, I think, to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the only reason why I knew that there was something between them. But I obviously didn't know if anything came of that or not. But now seeing that he's now in the leader of the clan,
Yes.
oh, that sounds bad.
The leader of the clan.
I have botched this one completely to hell. The
No, you
leader
haven't
of
though.
the troops.
You've done very well actually, except for Wendy and the clan.
But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
so and
Jesus
Ashley
Christ.
Stewart apparently.
And Ashley Stewart. The only one thing I'll say that you didn't touch on is that he is the leader of the troops, I'll say, not the other thing. And that they do show in the trailer that it appears that he is fully on that side until he reveals that maybe he hasn't changed after
That's
all.
true.
Um,
Yes, I do remember
because
like
she literally says, I thought you changed. And he says, I don't know.
he like throw well wait, he
He's like,
throws
why
her
can't I
her
quit you or whatever?
wait, I was about to say he throws her an egg, but he doesn't throw her an egg. He like throws the broom at her or something
And
like that.
why would he have an egg?
I
Like,
don't know, but that's what I thought of. He
he's
threw her an
like,
egg,
he's like, here, Wendy.
right? Here, green goddess,
Oh my
catch
God,
this egg.
my eyes are still crying a little bit. But yeah, otherwise you really did a solid job of that.
Well, thank you.
That was really well done. Wow.
For a detour that we took because I wasn't going to talk about it, and I think I wasn't going to talk about it because I knew that it would probably take this turn.
A detour
But
down the yellow brick road.
right,
Yeah,
but
listen,
yeah,
honestly, if there's going to be flying monkeys, don't you want to be in charge of them?
that's true. I liked seeing that though because I was like, Okay, this is how you see her with the flying monkeys. Cool, cool. Though she's not the one that you hear in the original. I'm still kind of lost on who the hell is the witch in the Wizard of Oz movie, and if that because that's not Elphaba. That's like Elphaba's other sister or some shit, right? No, the one
No,
in the Wizard of Oz is supposed to be Elphaba.
that's right.
Oh,
So
okay, so it makes
basically,
sense now. Okay,
just to tie it together for all you people who are listening, you may or may not care. And if you don't care, just skip this, fast forward a teeny bit. So the story of Wicked is basically Elphaba, who's the Wicked Witch, and Galinda, who is Glinda, go to like college together essentially, and it's their origin story before they become who they become. So the Wicked Witch that we see in The Wizard of Oz is Elphaba, but it's like that whole picture that they have painted of her being evil because she's going against like the government.
right.
Interesting, right? Well, in this day and age. So they're painting her as like a villain, even though she has like empathy and compassion, and she wants equal rights for because there's like animals that speak and they're professors. She wants them to be treated equally and all this stuff. So they paint her as the villain, and even in The Wizard of Oz, she is the actual movie. She's painted as the villain, but she's just misunderstood and basically slandered.
And I would be pissed too if a house fell on my sister because
And a house fell on her sister.
and her sister's in a wheelchair in the movie, right?
Yep. And
Yeah.
she is included. So her sister Nessa Rose is in the movie. You see her origin story as well, prior to the house being dropped on her. And also interesting to note in the movie, they harken back to the original shoes, which were not ruby slippers, they were silver. So you'll see that in the movie too. It's an interesting, like a darker take. That's what, you know how I love a dark take on things.
Yes.
So it is like a darker take on the movie or the behind the scenes or what we didn't know about how things aren't necessarily how they've been marketed to us, right? To read between the lines, to make your own decisions and think for yourself. And yeah, but also they show how people who have independent thought and go against the grain are villainized for daring to go against the norm. So I think it's very interesting if you're looking at those themes, like I said, in today's day and age. Like it's a good story, but if you actually get into it deep, you like there's good messages in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ashley Stewart is fine.
But yeah,
But it's interesting. One day I would love for you to watch. I think the first part's actually out now and see what
it
you actually
is.
think about it.
Yeah, I will.
Someday.
I have a short attention span, so eventually I will. Our last movie shocked the shit out of me because what happened was all of my trailers ended, and like you know how they played a little thing beforehand, like it's like, oh, here in this movie, turn off your phones, da 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 da, and
You'll get your
then
Coca-Cola snacks
right.
at the food emporium.
Let's go out to the kitchen. Yeah, it was one of those things, right?
Get yourself a snack. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so all of that happened, and then another green
Yep.
band trailer came on, and it was the Odyssey. And before they even said it was the Odyssey, I saw a man floating on a plank, and then I saw a man wearing a robe, and I said, "Who the fuck is that? Telemachus?" And the sure as fuck it was.
She said, I know Telemachus when I see him.
I certainly do. I didn't recognize Odysseus on that plank at first because I said that could be this could be the continuation of was that Castaway? Okay.
Yep.
I said,
Could be.
but turn around and oh, I saw Telemachus. I said he looked like a Telemachus. So this it's very interesting because I remember reading this story in school,
Mm.
and so I definitely have a little PTSD about it.
Nope.
But
We're getting all our trauma out today. Just get it out there on the table.
right.
Yep.
So it follows Odysseus in his perilous journey home after the Trojan War, showcasing his encounters with a whole bunch of people that I can't pronounce the names because they're Greek.
They sure
So
are.
yeah, so that's all you need to know. Tom Holland plays Telemachus. Matt Damon, who was in The Martian earlier,
Mm.
plays Odysseus. Zendaya is in this. Anne Hathaway is in it. Robin Pattinson, the sparkly vampire of all time, is in it. John Bernthal. Um,
Of The Walking Dead. He played Shane in The Walking Dead, which is where I met him and fell in love with him, because he's a dick, so naturally. But I like seeing him in bigger stuff because there for a while there he kind of got buried after
yeah,
Walking Dead. So now he's doing bigger movies. But just doing a quick scan of this cast, it looks like an
yeah.
enormous cast.
Elliot Page, Charlize Theron, Mia
John
Goth.
Leguizamo,
Yeah,
love.
It's a lot of people in this movie, and honestly, I love a big epic
Mm.
movie. This is going to be in 2026. It's coming out July 17th, 2026.
Yeah.
So it is by Christopher Nolan. And you know if it's a Christopher Nolan movie, it's going to be an epic adventure.
Epic.
Um
Did you say Mia Goth? Because Mia Goth is
yes.
in the shit. Ryan Hurst. Ryan Hurst, who was in Sons of Anarchy, and we loved him so much. Opie, amazing.
Yes.
As I scroll, I'm just more and more like, holy
This
shit.
is a hell of a cast. It's
Hello,
almost in
cast.
it's like when you looked at the when we did the Now You See Me Now You Don't cast, it was
Right.
like, oh my God, all these star-studded people. This is similar to that.
I feel like
Um
this has to be like a 5 hour movie. Like,
um
it has to be very long.
I would think that it probably would be a little long.
It's
I'm
gonna be
trying to
so
see if I can
long.
find how long
And
this
they're calling
is.
it an action fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay. Based on the Odyssey by Homer. Not the Homer you're thinking.
Oh, okay. So, the upcoming 2026 film adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan, is expected to have a runtime between 175 and 200 minutes, which broken down, that's 2 hours and 55 minutes to 3 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, there's no way to make it a
Oh,
movie of this proportion. It's kind of impossible. What
Lupita Nyong'o is in this too.
is she?
I, yes.
I ain't get that far on my
I am
list.
surprised they put some black people back then. Holy cow. I've never seen a black person back then
I
in
mean, well,
any of these shows.
they they existed. They
Well,
just
obviously they existed, but I mean, when I see these
I
type
know.
of movies, though, I don't expect to see it. You
I
know what
know.
I'm saying?
I
Because
just
I
thought it was
expect
funny the
to.
way it was worded. You're like, they put them back then. I was like, well, yeah. Like, no, but no.
I know,
But
but
also, she
it
seems to be now looking at the cast. She seems to be the only one. So, like, what is that part
right,
then?
right.
Like,
Well,
what is that?
Zendaya,
Oh no, there's
which
more. There's more.
okay,
There's
I'm not looking at the full list, the full
there's
cast.
people I haven't necessarily heard of, but Himesh Patel. John Leguizamo is white looking,
Yeah.
but he is Hispanic. Corey Hawkins. There's some brown and olive complexions up in this
Okay,
bitch.
I'll take the POCs. That's cool. That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very happy to see it. I
I
just
love
was
it.
so surprised because, like,
You were, it was apparent. You're like, oh my
yeah,
God.
because like to be quite honest, first of all, Tom Holland and Zendaya, they're like engaged or married or whatever. So like they're like I expected to see that for some
Power
reason.
couple. Yeah.
Yeah, and also Zendaya is passing. So it's just like she could be in
Mm-hmm.
anything and play any type of character for the most part. And
Yeah.
you're not going to really say like, oh, they met their quota of putting people of color in a
Their
movie.
quota. Yeah.
Just saying. But when I saw Lupita, I was like, oh,
Oh, they
that's something
really,
I have not seen. It's like when people watch Bridgerton and they see all these black
yes.
royalty people, and it's like you're so not used to that in a period piece.
Well, similar to the musical Hamilton, that if you don't know
Yes.
going in that all of the historical people they have casted who were white people have been cast as
Black
black and
people.
brown
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
which is so, it's so good. Have you ever seen Hamilton? You're not a musical girl. I know this.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen Hamilton. I've heard a
Okay.
lot about it though.
It is worth a watch, I will say. It is on Disney Plus. But yeah, if you don't know going in, then you're like, George Washington? Like what? Oh, oh, that's different. Super good. Way better
Yeah.
than the alternative of
Yeah.
just boring white people again.
Well, I'm not gonna say that's boring per se, but it's always exciting to see
Well,
a
it's
switch
always how
up.
it was told, right?
Right.
So if that's what makes it more compelling, more interesting, because we don't necessarily know that we're bored of it, but then they give us the same thing again, and we're like, I've already seen this. I've already seen this so many times, and now
Yeah.
the new way it's done, like you said, like with Bridgerton, like with Hamilton, gives it a
Um,
new flavor.
it's even like I think was it a Troy 2 or whatever that came. I forget what movie came out
Oh,
and Morgan Freeman was in it or something
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And it's like,
He could be
okay,
in every movie, honestly. He like
listen, he played God. I don't care. He could
I
be
think he
anything.
might actually be. Like he
Great.
might like for real. Yeah.
I've loved him for the longest time, but I will say I'm always impressed to see a cast of talented people.
Yes.
This is a very diverse cast from
Very.
race to gender identity to whatever. I really appreciate that type of
Hell yeah.
diversity. I want to see this. I probably will see this in IMAX. I am that type of person that will see. I saw Oppenheimer. I don't care. I saw
Did you?
Oppenheimer in IMAX at that,
How long was that? I didn't
uh,
see that.
like 3 damn hours.
God damn. Hold on. Let's
I'm
go
about
to
to
the
look it
videotape.
up. Yeah.
How long? Hot topic. That's not
Three
what I was looking
hours.
for. I'm saying, how long was, and it comes up Odysseus gone. How long was Odysseus gone? I'm like, that's still not what we're looking for. How long was Matt Damon on Mars?
Oh my gosh.
Wait, these are generally questions that people ask. How
Yeah.
long was Moses on the mountain? So I kept typing to get to the full question. So I have how long was Oppenheimer finally? But then I also get how long was Operation Mincemeat? I don't know what that is. How long was Alcatraz open? And how long was McDonald's open? So somebody is out there doing their research, but getting a little hungry, looking for a snack. But how
Right.
long was McDonald's open?
You know what?
84 years. Damn. Good for you.
That's Oppenheimer.
Yes.
But all that being said, I definitely want to go see Telemachus and
I still love that you're like, oh shit, that's Telemachus. Because I'm like, who is this man on a raft? And you're like, that
I
looks like Telemachus to me. Like, that's a great
I
thing.
just love that name so much. I'm
It's a,
just like, oh my
it
God,
rolls off the tongue
it
nice. I'm not
does.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Telemachus.
Telemachus.
Listen, yeah, I love it. So I'm gonna go see it. Now that we've gotten past our trailers, our
Our
trailers
chaotic
and all our,
trailer ride.
we
Yes.
always have something chaotic going on. So
Always.
we will get into the meat and potatoes of our After Dark episode. Now, before anyone starts clutching their pearls, I know that this movie is officially categorized as action, adventure, sci-fi, thriller. It's not horror. I get it. I understand. But listen, there are dinosaurs. And if they're dinosaurs, I'm gonna fucking talk about them, okay? And
So
also,
yes, go ahead.
necromancy is terrifying. And I'm gonna be honest, this whole franchise has been all surrounded by necromancy because they've been bringing
Sure.
dead things back to life the whole damn time.
Yes. So for me, I will say this. Yes, I agree with everything you just said. I co-sign it. I stand behind you and next to you always, forever. I'm not a girl super into dinosaur movies. I will watch them. I actually wanted to go see this in the theater. No one dragged my ass to the theater. With that being said, the way I view this going in, how does it relate to the horror ghouls? It is a monster movie to me. So not unlike your King Kong, your Godzilla, your giant spiders, your Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, your whatever. To me, it's a monster movie, and that's how we get in that way. So that's just my 2 cents from
Fair.
kind of a different angle, if you will.
All
Yep.
right. Prepare for me to nerd out just a little bit. So.
I'm happy. I'm excited for this for you because we haven't really done too much of this. We only talked about Dinosaur Hotel, which I would rather have been dead than watch. So
Yes, and all you guys know is that Jurassic Park is the best movie all time. I give it tens. Okay, it was the original 10 on this
10, 10,
on this
10.
episode on this channel, and I was never going to review Jurassic Park. Like I was like, we don't need to review that, but
We
we are
can.
reviewing Jurassic World.
Ugh. I just got ahead of myself and looked up something we're going to be talking about, and I hate it so much. Please go on.
Okay. So I'm not going to take you too far down the dino rabbit hole tonight because explaining how all the previous films connect to Rebirth would take forever. And I'm going to be honest, someone on YouTube has probably already made a 3-hour dissertation breakdown for it. But I will give you just a little context before we get into the non-spoiler review. So the Jurassic Park franchise has 7 feature-length films. There are 3 park films and there are 3 world films. So we have the OG classic Jurassic Park of 1993. Then we have the Lost World Jurassic Park of 1997. And then the final park movie is Jurassic Park 3 in 2001. Now, over a decade later came Jurassic World in 2015, followed by Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom in 2018. I'm sorry, I said 3 worlds, we have 4 worlds. And so then we have Jurassic World Dominion that came out in 2022, and now Jurassic World Rebirth in 2025. I can say that there are no characters that have been in every single movie. There are a lot of characters that are shown multiple times, like Dr. Wu or Dr. Malcolm. We also have Alan Grant, and Alan Grant is in quite a few of them. Ellie is in at least 2 of them, or 3 of them, actually. She makes a reprise in the third one, I think. But yeah, so other than that, and then you have like Chris Pratt that's in 2 of them and whatnot. So there's a lot of characters that kind of are in a few of them, but they're not all like in all of them. Now, I will say, I believe this movie with Rebirth, there are no recurring characters in this movie. And so
Mm-mm.
this is an all brand new cast of characters and dinosaurs, actually. So there were a few shorts and TV shows sprinkled throughout the years, but we're not going to talk about those tonight.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I actually just watched one the other day that I meant to ask you if you watched.
I haven't seen any of the
You
shorts.
haven't?
No,
No,
I
did you
because
watch? There was a YouTube short. No,
was it the Dominion
it was 10 minutes. So my friend told me about this when we were walking, when we were talking about Jurassic Park the other day, and he told me to go watch this, which I did. It was really cool. Wish I could find the name for you. It's Battle at Big Rock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I did not see that, but I did
10
see it on the
minutes.
list.
Yes. Really cool. Highly recommend. It's kind of like if all these dinosaurs were walking among us today, like just in a real life situation, like maybe what happens when people are camping out in the woods and the shit is going down. So that's all I'm going to say to set it up. I thought it was really cool. It was 10 minutes for me of like sheer dinosaur perfection. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Highly recommend. And
Yeah.
I'm not even a dinosaur girl like that. So yeah,
I'll probably check that out. I hadn't really paid attention to like the little TV shows and shorts and stuff because
yeah,
there are things that actually are like connected to the other movies that are in
sure.
some of these shows and some of the shorts. So yeah, I would love to watch that. So
I
I
didn't
will
know they were
definitely
doing
look
any
into
of
it.
that.
Me
If we're
neither.
being honest.
They
So
didn't
yeah.
they didn't talk about it, so I didn't know. We'll go on to the movie. Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards, takes place 5 years after the events of Dominion. This time we follow a team sent to Isle Saint Hubert. I always have a hard time saying the owl part. To collect blood samples from three of the world's largest prehistoric creatures, all in the name of developing a miracle drug to cure heart disease. So first we have the mosasaur, which is a massive aquatic reptile. We have Titanosaurus, which is a colossal sauropod, which basically it's
Like a
a
brontosaurus kind of
yeah, but like a dinosaur that walks on Earth. It doesn't fly. It's not an ocean. It's just ground.
a
And
ground
then
guy.
we have an egg from one of the most difficult ass dinosaurs to pronounce. It's I wrote it phonetically.
Mhm.
Keta Ketas Quetzalcoatlus.
Holy shit.
Quetzalcoatlus. That's what it is.
Wow.
Quetzalcoatlus. Yeah, I'm not fluent in paleontology, so a little hard. But that is a very huge pterosaur, which like pterodactyl, pterosaur. There is a silent P in the beginning of that,
It's
just
like
in
a
case
big
you want to
scary
spell
bird,
it.
guys, if you're like me. Just like a,
Yes.
yeah.
I actually wrote a terrifyingly huge pterosaur.
Yep.
So yeah. So of course it would not be a Jurassic movie without complications. Along the way of getting these blood samples, they cross paths with a stranded family in need of refuge. And so from there, they pick that family up and they make their way to the island, each with their own agenda. Some survival, some science, and some fortune. Once they arrive, the family and the team split up, and each group faces their own unique and deadly set of dangers. And so that's really all I'm going to say about the movie there, but I will tell you the main characters. So we do have Scarlett Johansson as Zora Bennett. She is a covert ops expert and she's leading this mission. And then we have, I know I'm going to botch his name, Mashrala Ali. I know who he is. I just never say his name right. I feel so bad about that.
Uh-uh.
But he plays Duncan Kincaid. He's Zora's trusted teammate and ship captain. We have Jonathan Bailey as Dr. Henry Loomis, the expedition's paleontologist. Friend is Martin Krebs, a pharmaceutical exec at Parker Genix with a hidden agenda. Manuel Garcia Ruflo as Ruben Delgado, the father of that shipwrecked family. And then he has two daughters. His oldest daughter is played by Luna Blaze, and her name is Teresa. His youngest daughter is played by Audrina Miranda, and she plays Isabella or Bella Delgado. And then they have the boyfriend of the older daughter tagging along. That is
Ugh.
David Iacono as Xavier Dobbs. And shout out to Dolores if you know, you know.
Oh my God. I'm obsessed with Dolores. Like obsessed. Like it's not even like funny. I love her so much.
Yes.
I had to just look up what Dolores is, by the way. She's an aqualops,
Hmm.
whatever that means. And they kind of look like a baby triceratops, but not 100%. Like there's variation, But if that's I was painting a visual for you, that's what I would say. So,
Yes. All of the animals on this island are genetic mutations, so none of them are going to look or be your original dinosaurs. The T-Rex is slightly genetically modified. The like we said, the pterosaurs are going to be modified. The sauropods are modified. Little Dolores is modified because there were no mini, like a mini teacup poodle. There were no mini teacup triceratops back then, but she is
aw.
basically a mini teacup
She's like if a
triceratops.
dinosaur was a cat,
Yeah, or a
except
little dog.
without fur.
Right.
So, yeah,
So yeah, so that's basically that.
I
Now,
love her.
a lot of people, if they know this movie, or this whole series, you know that Engine was the basically the company that started the first one. Like all of the things with John Hammond in the first park and everything, it was basically Engine. And when Engine went bankrupt, Parker Genix acquired everything they owned and what they were working for,
Hmm.
working on, with the exception of any data that Dr. Wu had. If you know Dr. Wu, it's played by BD Wong, of SU of Special Victims Unit fame.
I was gonna say, wait, wait a minute. BD Wong from
um,
SVU, yep.
yes.
Okay.
So, and he's been in several of the movies. All the data that he had, he used to create Indominus Rex and engineered the giant locust from Dominion, if you've seen that movies. Now, with that being said, Engine was creating mutations on this island. And this is not a secret, this character or this animal is in the trailers, and you'll eventually see it if you see this movie. So I'm not really spoiling this, but they did create a different animal called Distortus Rex, or
Mm.
D-Rex, as they say. And this was actually in order to make the T-Rex bigger and better. And they mixed the DNA of a Tyrannosaurus with the Titanosaurus. And unfortunately, there were 26 iterations of this genetic creation that did not live. And this was like the 27th version. And it still wasn't perfect, but
Oh,
they,
it's not perfect. Okay.
it wasn't perfect, but they
Oh,
allowed that one to live because these genetic experiments cost like $70 million or something like that. It's like a lot of money. So they're like, we're not going to just keep wasting our money. We're going to let it live, and we're just going to set it loose on this remote island that no one can go to. So yeah.
I need to just like we need to talk about the D-Rex, okay? Because like I know like you feel how you feel. I have deep rooted discontent about him. And I just am going to talk a little bit about what he looks like. He has a big fat head like a beluga whale, big fat head, and a stupid mouth. And sometimes from the side he looks like alien, and sometimes he just looks like a big fat monster. He has extra weird arms. He looks like
He has
he's
six
like
limbs.
he looks like the southern, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the southern weird, like not okay cousin of like, like hills have eyes, crazy, annoying. Like I didn't even enjoy his presence at all. He didn't scare me. I just wanted him to be away. I wanted like a real, like where's the real dinosaur? Where's the real T-Rex? Or like I think it was like a mega T-Rex in this one because he's like still different, but he's more aligned with the original. He's just bigger and like bulkier. But this guy, dude, I even when we started, I just looked up pictures of him, and this is really funny. If you go back when you're introducing what we're doing and I'm looking at pictures of him, I'm actually frowning the whole time. And I didn't notice until I caught just a glimpse of myself that I was sitting here like, because I hate him so much. I hate him so much. He's disgusting. Anyway, I hate his stupid head. I'm sorry. I'm still looking at a picture and it's making me angry.
I said that he looks like a chest burster. If you know what a chest burster is,
You said,
he
what
looks
did
like an
you?
obese chest burster. Okay,
Thank you.
he
And
does.
he does.
And I will say honestly, this character or this creation that's in this movie, it aligns more with a kaiju than a dinosaur. And so I love kaijus. They're like my favorite. Okay. I love them. Right up there next to dinosaurs. So I mean Cloverfield for life, Pacific Rim for life.
It's just
So
like not, it's just not right what they did.
it's not right. And interestingly enough, I looked a little bit more into this, and I for whatever reason, I fell into a little hole of my own. I watched a video called The Heartbreaking Story of Distortus Rex by Dangerville on YouTube. So shout out to
Hmm.
them for this information that I'm just going to share off the top of my
Shout out
head.
Dangerville. Yeah.
Right? They basically said, and again, this isn't spoiling the movie. I'm only talking about this dinosaur in particular. It's not going to necessarily alter anything from the movie or anything. But
Okay.
they basically spelled out like Engine was making these abominations. It's actually sad because the Storace Rex is actually in pain the entire time. And they're saying that
Now
because
you're trying
these
to make me feel bad for him.
listen,
Come on.
I felt bad watching it. They basically
Ugh.
said like if throughout the movie, you can see Distortus Rex. Distortus Rex is a curious creature. Like you said, yeah, I want to see the real dinosaurs because he's in pain and he hasn't seen humans for 15 years. And the last humans he saw did stuff to him and they poked him and prodded him and everything. So now when these new humans are here, he's more curious about what are you going to do? Are you friend or foe? And it kind of explains some of his actions throughout, especially something at the end, if
I
you think
feel
about it.
like when you're saying he's curious, but I have only seen him commit wild violence, it's hard for me to wrap my
But
brain.
honestly, he did okay, look. Right here in this part, I'm putting a spoiler because I want to say something.
Say it.
So
Spoiler
for
alert.
this is spoiler, I'm telling you right now, I'm
Razzle
going to put a
dazzle.
timestamp here. You can skip to the next part if you don't want to hear this, which the next part will just be fun facts because I'm just going to end on this part right here.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about how we felt about the movie. So again, spoiler alert, you've been warned. The thing about the Storace Rex, if you realize he only killed things that were threatening him, and the one instance where it seemed like he was doing something bad with the helicopter, it was because this whole time he's attracted to light. He's not necessarily like if you notice when they were all on the pier, there's a and let me just if you're actually watching for this spoiler, I will talk like, for real. There's a scene where everybody who is surviving is on this pier and they're trying to escape. The D-Rex comes over and he's like slowly meandering over. Part of it because he's in pain, part of it because he's curious as to what's going on. There's also a light that's on this thing that's flashing. He's attracted to light mostly because he spent a lot of his time in the dark. When the light is going, he's like slowly walking over, like, what is this? What are they doing? Because he never rushes up on anybody. He never tries to like purposely eat anything like that, except for, I mean, in the very beginning, but that's when he was being poked and prodded by those people. And so at that point, it's like if someone keeps poking and prodding you, eventually, yeah, you're gonna kill somebody. And so that's what happened. But also that was on that man because he ate a Snickers and he shouldn't have did that shit.
He let that rapper in. He's
Right, that was on him.
terrible. Yeah.
But even at the end, when Duncan has the flare, you think that that's the end. It's the end. He's gone. The flare goes out. And at that point, D-Rex is like, there's nothing else interesting here. I'm not hungry. I don't want to eat you. I don't know you like that. You haven't threatened me. All you
I
did was
don't
have
know
that
you.
light. Right. All you did was have that light. And I like the pretty light. So now I'm going to move on. And he let him go. And so that right there, also, like I said, he's in pain when he walks on the pier, and I saw this in the Dangerville video, he walks like he tests his paw first to see if he's gonna be okay before he actually puts weight on it. And I was like, oh, and it's weird. Also, it's unfortunate he has the six limbs because his two little arms are from the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the
Yeah.
big outstretched arms are from the Titanosaur. And it's just like because it's that mix, it gives him like arthritis and he has like spina bifida and like MS. It's like
Spina bifida.
he has a whole bunch of stuff going on. So I feel bad for him because after they showed this dinosaur in a different light, I did see why I did see how he could be misunderstood and stuff. He's still ugly as sin. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He's an ugly dinosaur. And again, he's this is a kaiju. Whoever designed this monstrosity looked at kaiju and made this a kaiju. It's not a dinosaur. Period. I'm never going to accept it as a dinosaur. But but I do understand like this little backstory that Dangerville has put out. So again, thank you to Dangerville for that. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. That's all I'm gonna say
Well,
about that.
welcome to the Horror Ghouls, where we make you feel bad for disgusting, revolting looking dinosaurs. I still can't, he is truly an abomination. He is
He is.
really
He is.
gross.
He is.
And
And I probably will have put plenty of pictures of him throughout that whole time I was talking.
it's
Uh,
really
so
disgusting. Like, I'm sorry that he is in pain. He didn't ask to be born, okay? I get it,
yes.
but I don't like looking at him. I don't like it. But yeah, I did like most of the other dinosaurs in the movie. I used to really be nuts for pterodactyl. Also Power Rangers, Pink Power Rangers. She had pterodactyl, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, no. I had the gloves too that made the sound like the psh psh
Oh
karate
yeah.
chop sound. I didn't really love them in this movie. Like they were fine. They didn't do anything wrong. I just was like, eh. I like the other parts more, but yeah.
Well, spoiler over.
Spoiler over.
So I'm gonna go into some of these fun facts.
Fun facts.
And it's a little interesting. I learned some stuff doing these fun facts. So the production cost for this movie was $180 million.
Okay.
However, they had very heavy marketing, and that brought the total cost for this movie as the budget and production cost to $330 million.
Oh no.
Now,
Wow.
this movie has only been out for a few weeks. So far, it's grossed about 318 million worldwide. It's close to getting up to 529 million overall. It's on track to be profitable. What Hollywood considers profitable is if you can do two times the total cost of your production, which would mean $660 million.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, as of July 13th, Jurassic World Rebirth has grossed 232.1 million in the United States and Canada, 297.4 million in other territories, which makes up that approximate total of 529 million. Now, I do have some budget comparisons from the original movies, the other
Mm-hmm.
movies and Rebirth. And it's interesting to see the budget comparison because you wouldn't even think about it. So the original Jurassic Park in 1993 had a budget of 63 million.
Mm-hmm.
Lost World had 73 million. Jurassic Park 3 was 93 million. Jurassic World was 150 million. Fallen Kingdom was 170 million. And Jurassic World Dominion was 185 million, which was a little bit higher than Jurassic World Rebirth, which their original production cost without the other budgeting stuff was 180 million. Looking at the worldwide gross of these movies, Jurassic Park, I didn't realize this franchise made so much money. Jurassic Park, the original, with re-release, made $1.5 billion.
Holy shit.
The Lost World made $618 million. Jurassic Park 3 made $368 million. Now, we're getting into all billions at this point. Jurassic World made $1.67 billion. Jurassic
Oh,
World Fallen Kingdom made $1.31 billion. Jurassic World Dominion made $1 billion.
wow.
So they all were blockbuster successes. They
That's
all made back
crazy.
their money. And so right now, again, Jurassic World Rebirth being out just a few weeks has made 529 million. They're on track to get to where they need to go, but we
It's
don't
too
know.
soon to say. That's crazy though. Holy,
Yeah.
did not
Now,
expect that.
when we talk about critical and audience reception, and I keep comparing it to the other movies on purpose because it's interesting.
Sure.
um, Jurassic World Rebirth so far has a 61% by critics and 72% with the audience, and that's Rotten Tomatoes, and then Metacritic has it sitting at a 60. It's not the lowest in the franchise. It's kind of, I will say for Metacritic, it's in the middle, but for Rotten Tomatoes, it's closer to the midpoint. The
Mm,
lowest movie for critics was Jurassic World Dominion with 29%, but the audience loved it a bit more at 77. Jurassic Park, the original, is the only one where both the critics and the audience rated it 91% for Rotten
mm,
Tomatoes.
okay.
The Lost World Jurassic Park has like favorable scores. It's about the same for across the board at 54, 51. Jurassic Park 3, 49 and 37. The audience didn't really like that one that much. Jurassic World, it was 71 and 78. Fallen Kingdom, 47 and 48. All of them except for Jurassic World Dominion, basically everyone felt the same way for the most part. Both critics and audiences felt the same way.
Okay.
And so, how does this movie really stack up against the other ones? So far, it has better critical reception than the
Mm,
last two entries in this franchise, which was Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. It has a fresh cast and direction, which gave it more energy, people thought, and it has a strong use of practical effects, which I will talk about that, and that is praised. However, the weaknesses so far is it has a lower box office compared to all the other Jurassic World predecessors, and it feels like a side story to a lot of fans instead of like a main staple in this
gotcha.
franchise.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I'll go to some other fun facts. This
Fun
movie
facts.
returned to practical effects. So while CGI is still heavily used in this movie, Rebirth brought back more animatronic dinosaurs than any Jurassic film since the original Jurassic Park in
I
1993.
love that. Love that.
Yes, because Gareth Edwards wanted the dinosaurs to feel tangible and terrifying. And
Hmm.
so that's great. The story is set on Isle St. Hubar, but it took place across Costa Rica, Hawaii, parts of Australia, and that's what gave the island its lush, outer worldly look.
Sure.
The composer for this is Michael Giacchino. I'm sure I'm botching that.
Buble.
Who
Just kidding.
who scored the previous two Jurassic World films, and he always incorporates John Williams' iconic original theme, especially in scenes involving discovery or awe, which every time you see a dinosaur, like a new dinosaur, and it's usually the sauropods. It's when you see a brontosaurus or when they saw the
Yeah.
titanosaurs and they're like big and majestic, it's like that's when you get that duh, 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 duh. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, a
I
classic.
love that. I
I
really
do
was
too.
pleased that they continue to incorporate it because it gives us that little bit of nostalgia, but also it's always been so perfect for what it is. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like for the movie that it is. So I'm so glad that they're not taking it from us and trying to totally reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad. During this movie, with press interviews, Scarlett Johansson talked about her favorite dinosaur in this movie, and
Hmm.
it was actually the mosasaur, which is the aquatic dinosaur that
Oh,
resembles sort of like a big ass whale to a certain extent.
yeah.
And it was her favorite creature in the film, not because of its size, but because she found it majestic and terrifying in equal measure.
Oh, okay.
They used real world paleontologists where they were consulted to ensure all the accuracy and how the dinosaurs moved and behaved, especially for Titanosaurus and the one with the Q that I said is hard to pronounce, and I don't have the phonetic spelling right here.
Right.
So Quizzicatlus, whatever it's called, which have been
Whatever.
historically which have been historically misrepresented in popular media. And I do want to say these dinosaur names are real, despite the fact that they're being called genetic mutations in this movie. So you can actually see like the actual historic origin of some of these dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if Distortus Rex is real. I don't think so. I would hope not.
God.
Also, there are hidden franchise Easter eggs, so fans will spot subtle nods to the original trilogy, like signage, old technology, vehicle models. They're sprinkled throughout the movie, but none of them are critical to understanding this story. So you don't have to worry about that. This movie has the longest runtime of all the other movies at 2 hours and 37 minutes. It is the most expansive in terms of character arcs, creature screen time, and world building, which is interesting because I didn't feel like there was a bunch of creatures on screen that often, but okay.
Not often. No, I
No.
don't think so.
And like I said earlier, there were no cameos from original leads such as Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, etc. The studio wanted this entry to fully pass the torch to a new generation without relying on any legacy characters.
Mm.
Also, director Gareth Edwards said he drew his inspiration from 70s eco horror films like The Birds and Phase 4.
Oh, the birds. Yeah.
Right?
Hmm.
Not in terms of plot, but in atmosphere and pacing, where nature feels oppressive and unpredictable. Which I think oppressive was good. I could give you oppressive. I felt like it was a little oppressive at times. Unpredictable, I don't know. And they also had a global dino fandom. Over 35 countries hosted fan events or dinosaur themed screenings leading up to the premiere, including pop up dinosaur parks, virtual reality experiences,
Wow.
and even dino yoga classes. So
That's different. Okay.
yes, very, very interesting. There was something else I wanted to say that I can't remember at the moment, but it is what it is because I didn't write it down and it came to me for a minute and then it left.
And then it was
Uh,
gone.
yeah, so
I do just want to say, so my nephew is about to be 4. He's
yay.
super into dinosaurs right now, like super duper. But there are dinosaurs that I don't know, I guess they just didn't really talk about that much when I was little and like learning about dinosaurs. So it was interesting to me, like watching this movie and hearing them mention some different kinds. And I was like, I know what that is now because of him. One of
Oh,
them being the Spinosaurus, which
yes,
I actually really enjoyed in this movie. Like I thought it was cool because they were like partially aquatic and partially
right.
when they got out of the water, you could see them in all their glory, but the way that they swam, I thought was really interesting. And those were kind of like right around the beginning, but you could see immediately all of their spiny spine out of the water, and everyone was like, oh, Spinosaurus. And I was like, of course. And that's such, I think it's funny
Yes.
that they all have a lot of technical names, but that one literally is like what it is. It's like a
Right, Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus.
Well,
Yeah.
Titanosaurus too. It's a titan. It's a big ass dinosaur.
Titanosaurus, right? And
Yeah.
then
So
D-Rex for disgusting. I keep telling everyone that I made that joke to myself when I watched the movie, but it's true, I did. It's like, what does the D stand for? Disgusting. Laughing at myself.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remembered a little bit of what I wanted to
Oh,
say. It's slightly spoilery, but I'm not really spoiling it. There was a whole conversation about like every if you watch every Jurassic Park movie, there's always like this epic dinosaur fights at the end where the Tyrannosaurus Rex is the savior, basically. If you've noticed. In most of these movies, he comes in and saves the day. In the original movie, there's the velociraptors are trying to like hone in
right.
on everybody, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex comes in and fucks them up. In it was either like Jurassic World or Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I think that's the one where they had like Indominus Rex, and one of the Spinosauruses comes in and with T Rex, and they tag team Indominus Rex and take him out. You know what I'm saying? And so all these movies, there's always some type of tag team thing. In this movie in particular, Gareth Edwards, the director, said, I want to do it, but I'm not sure if I should do it.
Mm,
And he asked his team, and the team said, let's make this different from the other
mm.
movies. I will say that that is part of the audience reception. People are upset that there isn't a Tyrannosaurus ending where he comes in and saves the day or something like that,
Yeah.
because the story goes in a different direction.
Well, yeah,
So
I get that. I'll say this though about it. I did want to see more Tyrannosaurus. Even if it wasn't at the end, I just didn't see enough of him that I liked. They spent so much time on the freaking disgusting D-Rex.
I liked
Um,
what I saw of the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I did. I loved what I saw of him, and I loved what I saw of all the other ones. And I always love, was it a sauropod? I've always been drawn to that kind as well. So that was fine. We could have gotten a little more of those, but really I was like, oh, there's no more T-Rex. Like,
I
okay,
know.
like, And then we
And I
just got this
mean,
big ass ugly MFer that I was like, ugh, ugh.
and I mean, people were kind of expecting to see the T-Rex
You know what I
come
did
in at
like?
the
I
end.
don't know what kind this is, but the kind with the frill.
Oh yes, they're like dilapidated or something like that. The
Dilapidated source. Yes, I love that. I did like that we got a sighting of one of those and just a little razzle dazzle from him. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't big, but we got a little something and I appreciated it.
so I probably said that wrong. If I
It's
find the
fine.
names of the dinosaurs, I'll try to put them in. If not, it's a very busy time for me, people. So it's a it's a little hard for me to get everything in, but I'll try
I'm
my
looking
best.
it up. Hold on. Oh, I
So,
don't know how the hell to say that. A Dilophosaurus,
oh
maybe?
yeah. The Dilophosaurus. Okay, yeah. I knew
Dilophosaurus.
it began with a D, but I couldn't remember exactly.
What
And
is
now
a protoceratops? What the hell is that now? Hold on. Protoceratops. It is oh, it's not as cute as a regular triceratops. It has more of like a beak. There's a lot of things that look like triceratops. There's something called a holy shit, a ceratopsian?
interesting.
There's so many kinds. Oh my gosh, there's like a whole chart. Holy moly. Who
Yeah.
knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
It is a good rabbit hole to go down if you're interested in dinosaurs to see all the like actual different branches and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
But
yeah, very interesting.
yeah, but it would take forever. So
We're not gonna do that to you guys.
with that being said, you kind of said how you felt about the movie, but I'm going to say right now, how many bloody axes and how did you feel about the movie?
So I liked it. Again, even when I said it or saw it, I went with my cousin and I was saying that I'm not a huge dinosaur movie gal, but I thought it was solid. And I said to her at the time, I wonder what you think about it because you're more like the expert. And if you say it's really good, then I know it's good. Um, and I think I saw it first, right?
Mhm.
So I had to wait a little bit to get that intel.
You saw it one day
Um,
before me.
but yeah, I think it was solid. I think because I saw the first one and then I saw a few in between. I didn't see all of them because if they weren't really harkening back to the first one or the Chris Pratt ones, I did see one of those. This doesn't really grab my attention. This I thought was good. I hated that big bubble-headed son of a bitch. I hated him so much. Still solid despite that. I like that they brought it back to Not the original place, which is kind of what I went in thinking that was happening. It seemed like they were going all the way back to the original lab, but they did go back in time to a lab that had been shut down that they were working on to make those like hybrid, whatever they're called, mutants, right? So I did kind of like the going back in time part a bit, even though it wasn't exactly what I thought. So with that all being said, I still thought it was really solid. I thought the acting was good. I love the practical effects as much as could be done. I'm gonna give it, for me, because like I said, not a dinosaur lady, a 7, but not because it's bad. It's just because like it was as good as I thought it could be for the type of movie that it was. But like I just don't know that I can appreciate it as much as someone who's like wild about dinosaurs, if that makes sense. Like dinosaur movies. But I still thought it was good, and I would still recommend people to see it, especially if they're like into that sort of thing. So that's basically it. What about you?
I will say that I also thought that they were going back to the original island, which would be Isla Nublar or Isla, I think it was like Sonus or something like that. I thought they were going back to one of those islands, but apparently they are
Right.
not. This island is not a retcon. This island is a island that always existed because people were complaining like, "Oh my God, is it a retcon?" No, it's just an island that always existed, but it was always top secret, so you didn't know. But it is in that area of those other two islands. Isla Nublar is where the original Jurassic Park is, and the other one is where there was dinosaurs that lived among humans, which probably is like that Battle of Buckhead or whatever you call it. That movie you said, I mean, the little short you said to watch. But it wasn't called the Battle of Buckhead, but whatever it was called.
No, it wasn't. I don't
Yes.
remember either. I got rid of it. So, Isla Nublar, it says, was for a showcase where the people can see the dinosaurs, and Isla Sorna was where they created the dinosaurs. I think that's the original ones. I don't know. That's just what it said here. Whatever.
I know in the book they only talk about Isla Nublar. And so I tend to gravitate towards what the book says. I know that the other island in particular did have other experiments, but there were little dinosaurs that lived among people. If you watched, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's Dominion or the one right before that, they show you those dinosaurs. I can't remember. It's not Dominion, it's the one before that. But
Yes.
but yeah, so all that being said, I was a little thrown off when I saw what I saw. Like, this is not what I expected. I expected
Right.
something different. And so that did kind of put me off just a bit. But
Right.
I think overall the movie was good. I also recommend people to see it if they are into this franchise.
Yeah.
I would say lower your expectation of it. Don't think that this is going to be like any other Jurassic Park movie that you've seen, because it is not. Even when I went in to see the first Jurassic World movie with Pratt, I assumed it was going to be similar to the first ones, and it was not. So this is just another departure from the original storyline and the original tropes and whatnot, even though it does follow a bit of the same storyline going
Sure.
forward.
Sure.
Now, I like the practical effects. I thought that that was great. And yeah, I don't have too much to say outside of everything that's already been said.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, when I first came out the theater, I was like, "Oh, I gotta give it a 9," because this is, it's nothing is as good as the first one, nothing is as good as the original. That's a 10. None of these other Jurassic Park movies get a 10 from me. None of them. The only movie I have not seen is Jurassic Park 3. But I will say, having some time to digest this movie a bit more and to look at some videos and to do the research for this and everything like that, I feel like I'm going to give it an 8. And I think that
Okay.
just because there were some things that I really do like about the movie. I like the characters. I thought that Scarlett Johansson playing Zora and Duncan, and I do think that even like the paleontologist guy, I think that they
Sure.
did a good job. And I liked the storyline that was there for what it was. If you go in thinking it's going to feel like a classic Jurassic Park movie, you might be disappointed. If you go in with an open mind saying, okay, I'm going to see a movie with dinosaurs and it might have some callbacks to Jurassic Park, it might not, then you might feel a little bit different about it. Whether you like Distortus Rex or not is going to be a toss up because some people will like him and some people won't.
I mean, it's no dinosaur. It's no dinosaur hotel, but
No, it's not. It's
no.
definitely not Dinosaur Hotel. But yeah, so I'm giving it an 8, and I think that, you
Solid.
know, I think that that's a good score for it. It's the next highest one because none of the other Jurassic Parks have gotten an 8 from me. They all are 7 or under.
High
And
praise.
so
Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's good. That's really it. So do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, adjacent. So when I was looking and said Island Nublar is a remote island or was 120 miles west of Costa Rica and 87 miles east of, and I just thought this was an interesting name and wanted to share it, Muertes
Yes.
Archipelago.
Yes,
So
the Death Islands or whatever it's
the
called.
Death Archipelago. So I just thought that was a little fun name
Yes.
for
It's
something.
like there's like five of those islands that are in that
You know
or
how like
something.
people have estates and they name them? Like they name them like weird, like Jolly Roger. I don't know, just whatever. But I think it would be fun to have one called Muertes Archipelago. Or really, I really want to have one called Castle Grayskull, but that's Skeletor's house. So
Yeah,
I don't know if they would let me name it then. But
I would love that. I
come
like
on down to
Skeletor.
Castle Grayskull,
Yes.
home of Skeletor and me. So, but yeah, no, I think that was good. I think there's good feedback. I hope you guys, if you saw this movie, let us know what you think. Do you agree with
Yes.
my very harsh criticism of the D-Rex? Do you want to fight me about it? Because we could fight about it if you want. But just we'd love to know your feedback. Let us know if you saw it, if you plan to see it, come back after you saw it, whatever you want to do. Just let us know. We like to hear about it
Yes, definitely let us know. And I mean, also don't forget you can follow us everywhere. We are on
everywhere
well everywhere but
in real life
TikTok.
and in real life because that's
And in
stalking.
real life,
Don't do
yes.
that.
But you know, we're at the Horror Ghouls on Instagram and Facebook. Of
Yes,
course, you
we
can
are.
listen to us on your favorite podcast platform whenever you get the itch for a little ear stimulation. And of course, we are here on the tubes for your viewing pleasure if you like to see our beautiful faces.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, with that, I mean, there's nothing else really to be said. This is an after dark episode, so it's not going to be like the rest of them. There's no fancy ending for this one.
no.
So we're just going to say goodbye, ghouls.
Bye.